What's up guys, Jamie Grace here, and I've been sharing a lot of the random food that I've been making on my Instagram, but I haven't made an actual cooking video in a while. So I mentioned it on Instagram and I was like, yo, would you guys like it if I did something like this? And I got a ton of responses. It was super exciting. A lot of you guys said stuff like spaghetti or chicken or anything. So I decided to make something that's super simple in my opinion. It's like a spaghetti bake, something my mom used to make when I was a kid, and I've kind of added a few things to it as I've gotten older. Super easy to make, whether you're like my age and you've got your parents coming over for the first time, or it's just you and your roommates, or it's you and your family, you and your kids, whatever it is. This is just a super simple thing to make. You need a pound of ground meat. I use turkey, but you can use ground chicken, ground beef, whatever you want to use. A pound of pasta noodles, basil, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, or like a granulated garlic. A jar of pasta sauce, some Alfredo sauce if you want. You also don't have to have the full thing of Alfredo sauce because I only have like 2-ish tablespoons left in this jar. Some cream cheese, you're only gonna use half of that pack. Pepperonis, shredded mozzarella cheese, and if you want, you can throw in some shredded sharp cheddar cheese. You can also add some feta cheese, any kind of cheese. I mean, there's no rules to cheese. For your non-edible things, you're gonna want a skillet, a pot for your pasta, casserole dish, a spoon, spatula style something, a strainer style something, some tongs, I think that's what they're called, a stove, and an oven. I almost said an onion. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. That's going to take a little bit of time. So you want to already have that preheating while you're cooking everything else. And then you want to go ahead and put the water on the stove in the pot for the pasta. Now I switched my pot out at the last minute because I realized I wanted to use the one that's actually made for pasta. But just read the instructions on the box. Follow those, use a timer on your phone if you need to, and that's like, just get the water boiling, and we're gonna focus on the meat and the meat sauce while all that stuff is getting ready. So you're gonna add your meat to the skillet and kind of use a spatula or like a spatula style something to keep chopping that up over the next like 7 to 10 minutes. Kind of check it every minute or two. And you want the stove to be at like medium high to high. If you've never cooked ground beef or ground meat before, I'd say start with like a medium high. And then just take your time with that, just kind of chopping it up occasionally. Then you're gonna wanna strain the meat. The meat that we're using doesn't have a ton of fat in it, so it doesn't have a ton to strain, so that's a good thing. The next thing we're gonna do is add the cream cheese to the meat. It's only half of the block, but I still broke it up into smaller pieces and kind of put the ground turkey on top of the cream cheese to help it melt faster. This is where this dish turned into like, oh, she was using ground turkey, to like, whoa, maybe don't eat this all the time because maybe this is not the healthiest dish around. Then you're gonna add the pepperonis, which I already chopped up, which is why you needed your knife earlier. Did I say knife earlier? I can't remember. Then you're gonna add the sauces. You don't have to use Alfredo sauce. I'm a cheese person. Around this time, your noodle water should be boiling, so go ahead and put the noodles in there. Set a timer based on what it says on your box. I also added like a small handful of like sharp cheddar cheese and a good amount of mozzarella cheese to my pasta, or to the meat dish one, the saucepan thing. Just kind of stir that up, leave it on super low while I focus on the pasta and make sure I'm not messing that up. Then my plan was to add a layer of pasta sauce and then noodles with some cheese and then pasta, and then layer it. And then I quickly realized that it was not going to fit in the dish that I had. So I just switched it, swapped it to another casserole dish, and just stirred it up with the tongs, and it was pretty cool. I like to finish it off with not a full layer, but some mozzarella cheese and then some pepperonis on top. And then I stick it in the oven. I bake it for about 15 minutes on 350, and then I switch it to broil for about 5 to 10 minutes. Broil depends on how much you want to like, kind of give it like the crunchy flavor, like the cheese on the corners and stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of that, but most people are, and so I do boil it for a little bit. And yeah, so this dish will like last us forever, but it also, like I said, it's not the healthiest thing in the world. So just to make myself feel a little bit better, I do usually add like a salad or green bean, or just don't eat this all the time. Treat yourself and take care of yourself. But this is like something really simple. If you've ever like wanted to make a good salad, buy like a kit like this, and you just mix all the ingredients together in a big bowl. For the amount of spaghetti that I made, you might want to do like 2 of these in a big bowl. Fun fact with my pregnancy cravings right now, this is like my breakfast right now, one of these. But yeah, that's how I make spaghetti bake pasta pizza pepperoni dish food, and it's really fun, it's really easy to make, and I would love it if you guys make it and tag me on Instagram and let me know how it turned out.